The best part about it for me, and I think the thing that I really remember with this project, was Tim and Simon coming to Jeanette's house and saying, we've got this idea. And they presented it to the group and everyone went, that's pretty cool. And then they went away, and the next meeting, there it was. You know, they developed it all, they thought it through, they met with Clint and they made it a reality. And then the next 3 years, they've worked really hard on it, and they've come out with this amazing resource now, you know, that anyone in their catchment, you know, a farmer, a landowner, a lifestyle block, industry, rural professional can log on to, get some fantastic information on how their land and the landscape can impact greenhouse gas emissions and water quality, and see exactly, you know, where they could put their mitigations and have those great conversations.
Essentially, farmers want to know why. Why do they have to do this regulation, or why they have to do this rule? Same with any change really. So by giving them that information, they feel it's actually within their control on things they can change, and then with the science they can validate what they've done and why.
And from then it's just carried on till now, where we've finally got the successful project, and we've mapped the whole Hedge Hope Makaurau catchment group, and we know where the water goes. If farmers want, they can look at the maps and they can find out for their own farm where they can put mitigations in place, and hopefully for lesser spend they can have a huge environmental impact and really positive outcomes.
Yeah, this was a really awesome project because I think the catchment group really came to us with an idea. They'd seen some work that had been done elsewhere that we'd undertaken, and they were really keen on seeing whether it could be applied at scale across the whole Hedge Hope Makaurau catchment. And it was a pretty exciting opportunity for us, primarily because it's got so much variability as a catchment. You go from hill country through to lowland areas, there's peat bogs, there's all sorts of different landscape settings, lots of variety. And that to me really suggested there's huge opportunity here to kind of get a better handle on what's underneath people's feet and how they could use that to support their businesses and environmental resilience. As we're saying, what's underneath your feet has a big say over the type and severity of issues you might encounter regarding water quality. We're conscious that we needed the best data we could get, and particularly in terms of its spatial resolution, mainly because farmers are making decisions at paddock and property scale. So we combed through all the information we could find in national data sets through to more regional data sets, and we work on integrating multiple different layers of evidence to support the outputs that we produce. So one of the outputs, for example, was a new soil map that required us to look at how to integrate historic soil maps like Taupo Climate South with the geological science, GNS Science's geology layers, historic soil auger points, which we digitised, new soil pits, and then integrating that with new technologies like airborne radiometric survey and satellite data, so that we can really start to converge upon a more resolved understanding of what's underneath your feet, and using that information and checking in with the farmers that we did our case studies with, in particular around, does this make sense? Have we got this right? And let's dig a hole and check, do a bit of ground truthing with those case study farmers as well.
And so the conversation's changed from not knowing what to do, to potentially understanding what's on your farm, and then also what we can do going forward.
Yeah, so I suppose the map gave us decisions that we've been making and could help us change our farming system to best suit the land that's on our farm. Gave us areas that need special attention or maybe looked after or weren't suited to different practices, so that we could overall get the best benefit for our whole farm system.
Yeah, we wanted to be involved in something that gave us scientific evidence that backed up basically what we had a gut feel and what we were doing on farm.
I reckon knowledge is power, and for communities. And I think my take-home message a wee bit is that nothing can replace that local knowledge. And I think if anything, this project is as much about awareness and creating a vision for opportunity as it is about environmental. Because I think it also helps when you think about communities, you want flourishing communities. So you want great environmental outcomes, that's huge. But we also want to have thriving, resilient businesses so that we've got a much more holistic, a lot more sustainable system. And I think through this sort of landscape knowledge and partnership with really good farm systems practices, there's a really good opportunity here for people.
I think, if we want to maintain that social licence to operate and produce quality food that people want to consume, we have to verify that with, knowledge and science that can be backed up. I've got a favourite saying that, in God we trust, all others must bring data, and I think this is definitely true in this instance.
I think it's finding that starting point. Like, we know we've got changes to make going forward with regulations, but it's a matter of knowing what to start doing first, or where's the best place to put investment in to get the best water quality outcome, but also make it affordable within the farming or a growing business.
If you want to know any more information on this project, please go and have a look at the Thriving Southland website, thrivingSouthland.co.nz. Look under the project tab, and it's Understanding the Land to Drive Change. All the information you want is there, including the link to the online platform, all the handouts and the field days. It's a great one-stop shop.